welcome back. So Mario, Kim K's amazing makeup artist, has teamed up with Anastasia Beverly Hills to create a gorgeous eyeshadow palette. So I thought I would use this palette to create a nice and easy but bold makeup look. Right, we're going to start with the eyes. I've got my MAC paint pot in the shade Soft Ochre, and this is just going to wipe out any discoloration and also keep our eyeshadows on for a lot longer. So it's all over the eyes up to the brow bone. Then I've got my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, and I like to take this over the crease and over the eye just to ensure that the eyeshadows we're going to apply are going to blend over the top of the paint pot really nicely and smoothly. Then going into the beautiful Master Palette by Mario. This is what it looks like. Here's the big reveal. And I'm taking the shade Lula, which is a really cool toned brown, like a light cool toned brown. Yeah. And I'm taking this into the crease and a bit above it on a larger fluffy blending brush, and this is going to be the transitional blending shade. Then I'm taking the shade Claudia, which is this gorgeous shimmery navy like deep blue eyeshadow, and on a flat shader brush I'm just packing this all over the lid. I'm not taking it too high up just yet because I'll blend it into the crease later on. You just want to keep packing on the shade until you get the depth and intensity that you like, and I quite like to sandwich my eyeshadow on so that it lasts even longer. And then just using a tapered blending brush with a little bit more of that Claudia eyeshadow on it and just going into the crease. Then on a flat brush again, I'm taking the shade Marina and really lightly just patting this onto the center of the lid, and that's about it. Then for liner, you guys know I love a smoky smudgy liner, so I have got my Sephora Kohl liner, which is in the shade Black, and I'm just taking this along my lash line and then using a really small detail brush just to smoke it out and smudge it into the blue eyeshadow. Moving on to skin, I've got this Melanie Mills Hollywood Gleam Body Radiance, and this is in the shade Rose Gold. You can also apply this on the face, so I'm using this as my primer, and I just want my face to glow from within. So yeah, I've applied that all over, and then I am just going to kind of correct any discoloration and any like scars or marks around my skin with my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Biscuit, and then I'm just blending that all into my skin just to conceal and cover up those areas. Then for foundation, I've got my Anastasia Beverly Hills Stick Foundation, which is new, and I'm using this in the shade Warm Tan, and I'm just swooping this along my face, yeah, basically everywhere, and then using my Marc Jacobs the Face 3 brush, which is a really large, like dense brush. I'm just kind of stippling this all over my skin to blend it in. I really like using this brush to blend in my foundation. It just does an amazing job, and it makes it super easy and super quick, as you can see. Then to cover up my dark circles, I've got my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Ginger, and this is to brighten. So I use Biscuit to kind of cover up any discoloration, and then I use Ginger to brighten up underneath my eyes. And then I'm using my Maybelline Eraser Eye Concealer to highlight even further. So I like to use that down the bridge of my nose, my forehead, my cupid's bow, my chin, and then also just like to take that over the top of the concealer under my eyes to brighten even further. And then you just want to blend that all in. It's so important to make sure you don't have any funny lines or anything around your face, no streak marks. You want to make sure everything is nicely blended out and seamless, so you can use a brush or a beauty blender to do that. Anyway, you just want to pack on some translucent powder in the areas that you've highlighted, and I'm using a sponge to do this because I just like the way it kind of settles onto the skin, and then I'm just brushing off any excess with a small brush. Moving back onto the eyes, I'm taking the Claudia like blue shade again along my lower lash line, and then I'm just buffing and blending that out with the tapered blending brush that I used earlier, and then going into the waterline with the Kohl liner that I also used earlier, just to darken up the eyes and bring a little bit more drama to them. And I'm also tight lining the top of the waterline just so that it looks really nice and dark and smoky, and I love the eyes being the focus. Yeah, it's one of my favourite kind of makeup looks. And moving back onto the skin now, I've got my bronzer from MAC. This is in the shade Dark Deepest. It's actually a face powder, but I use a darker shade. And I'm just applying this with a fluffy blending brush into the hollows of my cheeks, and also taking this along the temples just to warm up my skin, anywhere where the sun would naturally hit me. And then to contour, I've got my Makeup Geek contour powder in the shade Half Hearted. And on a fluffy tapered blending brush, I'm just taking this into the hollows of my cheeks. And the reason I'm using a tapered blending brush to do this is because I don't want it to be too harsh, but I also want a little bit of precision. So the tapered tip will kind of help me to get the precision, but then the fluffy blending brush will kind of help blend it out. I'm also just taking that contour down the sides of my nose and at the tip also. And then to highlight, I'm using this Makeup Geek and Kathleen Light collaboration palette, and it's so gorgeous. I'm taking the light gold shade. I just switched up my brush here, but I'm just building up that highlighter along the top of my cheekbones. I'm also taking it down the bridge of my nose at the tip, also on my forehead, cupid's bow and chin, basically everywhere, because I love a highlight. And then for blush, I'm using one of my oldie but goodie favourites, and this is MAC Melba, and it's such a nice kind of natural tone blush. I'm just brushing this on the apples of my cheeks and up into the contour. And then for mascara, I've got a new mascara from Rimmel. It's the Scandalized Reloaded Mascara. It's meant to volumize your lashes and thicken them up. So I just applied a couple of coats of this, and you can totally leave it like that, just mascara. However, I did apply some false eyelashes. So yeah, I will leave the name of which ones they are down below, but I just thought they would add extra drama. And then for lower lashes, I'm using my favourite mascara that I always use for lower lashes, but I used a little bit more than I normally would, just because, like I said, I want loads of drama and attention on the eyes, so clumpy kind of thick lashes really suit this dark smoky look. Then for lips, I've got my Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude Lip Liner, which is such a gorgeous shade, and I'm just lining my lips with this lip liner. And then for lipstick, I've got my Huda Beauty Liquid Matte Lipstick in the shade Venus. You guys know this is one of my favourite combinations. I just absolutely love it. So yeah, I'm just applying this. It's such a good neutral lip colour to go with any bold eye makeup, so yeah, it just works. And then just going back in with my Iconic Nude Lip Liner to redefine. This is the finished look, guys. I hope you like it. Give it a thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe, follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, and yeah, thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Mwah.